Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, we are from 6th group. We are going to explain about mental health illness. My name is Fridka Ramadhan S.
My name is Mutyara Nur Hasanah.
My name is Yuliyani Burhanudin.
My name is Siti Nur Hajajah. And my name is Yulfi Yulia Z. So, first of all, before going talking about mental illness, we should know what is mental illness first. As we all know, even in this modern era, our society barely aware and taking serious about mental problem. Health problem is not involved around physical illness only. We should take in a night to mental health problem too. Based on an article by Jen Holtes, mental illnesses affect 90% of adult population, 46% of teenagers, and 13% of children each year, and only half of those affected receive treatment. Often because of the stigma attached to mental health, untreated, mental illness can contribute to higher medical expenses, poorer performance at school and work, fewer employment opportunities, and increased risk of suicide. So that means it's important for us to know about mental health problem. So, what is mental illness? Mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking or behavior, or a combination of these. Mental illnesses are associated with distress and or problems functioning in social, work, or family activities. So the next one is the cause and factor of mental illness. The cause of a person to have mental illness is still remain in unknown. However, there are many factors that could cause mental illness occur to people. Certain stressors can trigger an illness in a person who is susceptible to mental illness. These stressors include below factors.
Okay, next, the first environment factors. A family environment, a person who experienced death of a family member or divorce, dysfunctional family life, having violence from parents or other family members may improve the risk of having mental illness. At school, the person who experienced bullying from their friends, social cultural pressure from their friends, like forcing a person to follow a happening trend so they could stay at their society or circle, may also improve the risk of development. A social environment, people that experience loss of relationship, having trouble with jobs or getting fired, violence, abuse from boss or their worksmen, sexual harassment, etc. Second, genetic factors. Mental illnesses sometimes run in families, suggesting that people who have a family members with a mental illness may be somewhat more likely to develop one themselves. Susceptibility is passed on in families through genes. It occurs from the interaction of multiple genes and other factors. The first infection. Certain infections have been linked to brain damage and the development or mental illness or the worsening of its symptoms. Brain defect or injury. Defects in or injury to certain areas or the brain have also been linked to some mental illnesses. And the last one, other factors, poor nutrition and exposure to toxins such as lead may play a role in development of mental illnesses too.
There are many examples from mental illness. Number one is depression. Depression is a mood disorder characterized by feeling of deep sadness, emptiness, and a sense of indifference. A person is declared depressed if he has felt sad, hopeless, and worthless for 2 weeks. There are psychological and physical characteristics of a person affected by depression. Symptom of physiological characteristic of depression. Experiencing anxiety and worrying is excessive, emotionally unstable, exhibiting feeling hopeless or frustrated, losing interest in activities you enjoy. Physical characteristic of depression: always feel tired and not energetic, experiencing dizziness, decreased appetite, having repeated thoughts about death and thought of suicide, and last, insomnia. Causes of depression: experiencing traumatic events, have a chronic, having constant mental stress, chemical disorders in the brain, genetics, and hormonal disorders.
Two, next, number two is anxiety. Anxiety disorder is a condition of person who can feel anxious or is sexually worried about various things. Anxiety disorder can be felt every day and can last more than 6 months. As a result, sufferers find it too difficult to carry out daily activities. People with anxiety can also feel tired quickly and have headache, shortness of breath, and insomnia. Similar to panic disorder sufferers can feel fear or panic for no apparent reason, can appear at any time and occur suddenly and repeatedly. Patients with panic disorder can also feel other symptoms such as shortness of breath, body shaking, weakness, dizziness, and cold sweats. Anxiety and panic disorder can cause deep depression. Number three, bipolar. Bipolar disorder is a mental disorder characterized by very drastic emotional change. People with bipolar disorder can feel symptoms of mania and depression. There are examples from bipolar. The first is from very happy to very sad to from very confident to pessimistic, and last from excited to lazy. And it all happened at the same time. For bipolar treatment can only be checked by a doctor to determine the right method with drugs or special therapy. The bad effects of bipolar on the life or the sufferer. The first is alcohol and drug addiction, remain social relationship to suicidal ideation and attempts.
4. Self-harm. Self-harm is any intentional act to injure oneself, such as cutting the skin of a sharp object, banging one's head against a wall, hitting oneself, and etc. So there is also a self-harm by drinking alcohol or drugs in excess and having sex in unsafe way, with the aim of venting negative emotions, aka self-harm. This self-harm gives satisfaction to the perpetrator and makes him feel more relief. And also the pain caused by this self-harm can replace the emotional pain when the pain can't be explained by him. So he chooses to hurt his body. Number 5. Mental eating disorder. Eating disorder is a mental disorder when consuming food. Patients may eat too little or too much food and become obsessed with weight or body shape. It could be due to a desire to diet even though he is already thin, or a disorder to eat quickly and in large portions. Even though he is not hungry, eating disorders are generally experienced by those who are